Hi everybody, Nem here, and this is my video review of the SJ4000 action camera. I'm going to start with a quick overview of what you get with the camera, and then we'll move on to some more technical stuff. Here of course is the camera itself. You can see one of the great features of the camera is it has a built-in display which allows for better framing of your subject, and also allows for a menu operation that is a little bit more civilized, as well as built-in playback mode. Here you can see the menus. We have 8 pages of menus and about 4 items per page depending on what the items are. And it's just one layer deep, so it's pretty easy to navigate. You just keep pushing the buttons up and down until you get to the function you want. If the function you want isn't there, then it just doesn't do it. In the menu highlights, we do have HDR, high dynamic range, which improves color and increases saturation a little bit, which is nice in some cases. It also has a fully functional car mode with license stamp available, and date and time stamps of course, and cyclic record in 3, 5, and 10 minute chunks. Motion detection is available, and it records in H.264 movie format with 1080p resolution, 30 frames per second, and 720p 60 frames per second, but that is with frame doubling, and unfortunately there's no way to choose not to use frame doubling on this. Menu selection is by mode selection is by pressing the front power and mode button. You have 4 mode ranges, which starts in the movie mode, then switches to camera mode, then to playback mode, and then again to menu mode. Alright, now about what you get with the camera. Of course you get the camera itself. It weighs about 59 grams. The box that comes with it by itself is about 75 grams. Total for the box and the camera is 134 grams. And box, camera, and screw, box, camera, screw, and clip, all ready to attach to something. Come on, you. Safety catch can be a bit fiddly, but then again it's supposed to be fiddly so things don't fall off. Base clip, camera, and screw assembled like so. Is 153 grams, give or take. Now, these clips, as you know, there's been a lot of talk about this as well. The clips will clip into a GoPro base plate like this. They'll clip into it. This happens to be the curved one for mounting on a helmet. However, the GoPro clips will not clip into these bases. So if you're looking to use these bases with your GoPro, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the patookie. However, these screws and hinges, this whole assembly here in this area, this all is interchangeable on a hardware level. If you take this part, or this, or any of these, they will clip right onto the GoPro. And even the screw is compatible. This screw is compatible with the hardware and the GoPro, and the hardware screw, it's a direct replacement. You get 4 of these screws with it. Here I'm putting on a tripod mount. Also available is the short clip mount, like this one, which is going to give you about that much range up and back. We have this one, which is a little bit more of a gooseneck, it's going to almost allow you to point it straight up, or if you flip it around, almost straight down like that. It gives you some more flexibility. We have the traditional handlebar mount for those of you who are going to go motorcycling or bicycle or mountain biking. It attaches like so, and this is made of some pretty high density polycarbonate by the looks of it. And it's got a nice firm rubber insert. Here we have another mount. This is the flat clip-on mount. As you can see, it's got double face tape. It also has a screw in for it, so that if you have to, you can put this. You can take this and put it on a tripod. Here, of course, is the curved mount again, which I just threw back in the box without paying any attention. Also included are these articulated joints, which if you look in the manual, what those are for is so that you can do, oh, let's say like this, so like that, and then you put this on here, like so. There you go, like that, with these articulated mounts, and then bam, now you've got a I'm going to use to clamp this onto the side of well, anything, the side of a vehicle, on the side of a helmet, anywhere where you want to be able to connect to the side of something. There it goes, just like so. And it also includes, and the system also includes this mount, which is not a protected mount. This is for use with a car cam. It has a threaded slot in it, so that if you want to put a suction cup mount that comes from your dashboard and comes down like so, you can do that. Or you can mount it directly to a tripod right there, like so. Also included is this nifty little clip, which allows you to clip it to a belt, an article of clothing, you know, almost anything. And for use with that, it includes these straps, which, you know, you can strap around something so that you can clip it with this clip. And finally included, as far as hardware, is a second back, like the other company has, with slots in it here and here to allow sound in while you're still using the big protective box. As you can see, it's just that easy to swap it out. Bam, and there it goes. It might help if I actually got it in the slot, though. Let's try that again. Blink. There we go. And this, as you can see, has slots right there and there, so that sound can get in and it can record in sound. Few features. The menu, as I said, it has several features available. It's straightforward. The manual is, well, to be honest with you, it's mostly just a few pictures and pointing you to, you know, basic features of the camera. There are a few pictures here that show you how to use some of the pieces together. That's how I figured out how to use that offset thing with these little bits and bobs. The other included materials are Velcro straps, so you can strap these to a camera mount like we would use on a gimbal or something like that. A cleaning cloth for cleaning the case, cleaning the lens. Couple of extra sticky pads for the clip for the base plates, and a metal tether so that you can tether this to your craft if you're putting it in an aircraft or a boat or whatever, so that you have a second form of attachment just in case to save it. A bunch of, well, ordinary black zip ties, which I don't imagine any modeler would have any shortage of those, but it's nice that they included them. It also includes a basic micro USB cable for transferring data and for charging the unit. Unfortunately, the USB power pack that's included with this for charging the unit is Euro only, so you're either going to have to plug into your computer PC USB port or find another charger. I found this, of course, is useless to me here in the States. I found that it does charge up just fine with one of these. I'm sure we all recognize this one. And it charges off of this, which has 1.5 amp output. It charges from this in about 2.5 hours. The original one is a 1 amp output, so you're really going to want that. I tried charging it from my PC and it took forever with the 500 milliamp limitation of a PC USB port. Anyways, moving forward. Main features are, well, this camera is just an awesome little camera. I mean, I'm tickled pink with it, and I've been looking forward to using it. Unfortunately, one drawback is it didn't like any of my old SD cards. I had some old class 2 and class 4 ones. I have just received in the mail new replacements from an online merchant, and I have got class 4, class 10 in 16 and 32 gigabytes, and I'm finding that it's reading those all just fine. So obviously it was just my older memory cards that it didn't like, which is to be expected. They're 2 or 3 years old and probably not exactly the highest standard compared to today's. One thing I did want to note, this lens here, the lens is not glass. It's optical quality polycarbonate. I've actually taken this off and taken a look at the lens itself. You can actually replace this lens. It's a separate piece. For those of you who are thinking about replacing it with a glass lens like the Hero 2s used to have, the diameter is 34 millimeters. It is 1.5 millimeters thick. So if you can do some research, maybe even post back here, let me know. I would like to know if the GoPro Hero 2 lens that fits the Hero case fits in that. I'm sure others would like to know that too. Basically, we're going to move down to the pros and cons now at this point. Pros are built-in high-resolution display, allows proper framing of subjects, as I've demonstrated. And it makes for a more civilized menu, which is just plain easier to use. High quality glass lens on camera, very similar to the GoPro lens or the Sunex lenses that people are putting on the GoPros. I've also had the camera part, which you'll see in my technical teardown. It uses a 12 millimeter thread, so you probably can use the Sunex DSL377 is really popular on the GoPro Hero 2s. And that's a 140 degree lens, which would allow you to alter the field of view a little bit narrower if people want to get rid of some of the fisheye. And like I said, it's a high quality lens on the camera, 12 megapixel sensor. In my opinion, the price to video quality ratio is very good. I've been taking some pictures of them, observed on the net of it compared to the GoPro Hero 2 and the Hero 3 White. It's very, very comparable in the quality, in the resolutions that it covers. Price to value, I mean, you're talking about a camera that's listing now for $100. That price, it's like getting an assortment of, you know, mounts for the GoPro and you know, getting the camera for free. I'd consider it to be a serious contender to the GoPro Hero 2 HD and the Hero 3 White. It's about half the price of those right now. The mini HDMI output makes playing back on the big screen is a nice feature, and it has a fully functional car dash cam mode, which also provides excellent video results. The cons are, well, it looks like a GoPro, so if you leave it stuck on your dash, it's going to be an invitation to people to, you know, smash a window and try to grab it. The case lens isn't glass, like I mentioned before, but it is optical quality polycarbonate, and it is replaceable. The exposure seems slightly dark, but that is adjustable. There's a setting in the menu for that, and you just click it up one click and it looks a lot better. However, one of the big cons to me is 720p 30 frames per second mode isn't available. You can only record 720 in 720 mode. You can only record in the 60 frame per second mode, and that is with frame doubling. So essentially, you're using almost the same amount of bandwidth, data rate as 1080p for half the video quality. I really do wish they would. I do hope they will make 720 30 frame per second mode available in future firmware, so that you can select that and save storage space. Another big drawback is, as I mentioned earlier, the GoPro clips. This part, if you have this part on your GoPro, it will not fit into this part on the SJ4000. However, it does fit the other way around. This whole assembly here, this clip here, does fit into the GoPro base plates. I've tried them myself. Included USB charger is Euro only, and you need a 1 amp rated or better to charge properly. The one that comes with it, of course, as I said, is useless here in the States. However, I can't be the only person who has 1 or 2 or 10 of these laying around, and they work great with it. It does include a proper USB data/charging cable, and that works very well. With this white adapter, it charges in about 2.5 hours. This small 1.5 inch screen, well, it is small, but it's pretty high resolution. My guess is probably 480 by 320, or maybe, if we're really lucky, 640 by 480. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in a 1.5 inch screen, it really looks pretty sharp. The screen is a little bit small, but smaller screens are better on battery life. So between the smaller screen and the fact that it times out after about 30 seconds, I think it's a really great addition to the camera that's not going to consume any battery life, and that's what they were looking for. One of the other big caveats is, you know, people who want to use these for FPV are going to want to have, some of them are going to want to have video out while they're recording. And it doesn't do that. It does not have an analog video out, and it only has the HDMI video out. And there is talk from the suppliers that a possible firmware upgrade will fix that. However, seeing as the camera only has an HDMI video output and a micro USB output, some form of adapter is going to be necessary for that. It's not like you'll be able to just plug in a standard headphone type video output jack and get your video out that way. So that's not going to be terribly convenient either. However, all in all, these caveats aside, it's a great camera, and I think it's really nice to see good quality action cameras now coming in the $100 price range, I can only expect things to get better, because these cameras are just awesome and useful, and no two ways about it. Alright, everybody, Thank you for taking the time. This has been a long one. Look forward to my complete tech teardown while I have a photograph by photograph teardown of the unit right down to the main board, and you can see what's in it and what makes it tick. Thank you very much. Nem out.